Hey everyone, I'm just partway through the modification for making the Akai MPC pads a little more sensitive by putting a little bit of tape under there, and I thought I'd just kind of show you kind of what's involved, because I couldn't really find anything online about how detailed it was, so I thought I'd quickly post this about how to do it with the Akai MPC1000, where all of the pads are individual rather than having a whole sheet of pads like on some of them. So this is the black 1000. There's my dog. So pretty much to start with, by unscrewing it, you don't need to take the back off at all. You just take the top off. So you start with the faceplate there. There's a couple of screws located just at the bottom there. You take those off and the faceplate will slide off pretty easily. And then you take the top of it off. There's some screws just at the back along the top there. We take those off, and I think there's another one just at the front there, but they're very easy to see. Yeah, you can see where the metal joins on to the top. That's no dramas. But then when you open it up, it's kind of like a whole another kettle of fish. So when you open it up, you're kind of greeted with this there. That's where some of the pads are. All the rest are over here. So here, this metal part here that you need to remove to flip over and get the pads out is screwed down by screws here, here, and then another two on this side here, which kind of slots down under that circuit board there. So it's very fiddly to get out, so be careful with it. You don't need to disconnect there, or actually that's the only one you don't need to disconnect. All the rest, there's one over this side here which connects the board there, which you do need to disconnect that one, and then on the back there's this large cable here which connects up to there, which you also need to disconnect to be able to pull the whole faceplate off. So I recommend having some jeweler's screwdrivers, so you can, like really thin ones, you can kind of just get in there and pry them out with. And then on some of the connectors I've even used the end of a multimeter, which has got like a very fine point. You can kind of slide in between a very thin gap and start prying it out. So once you've got this guy off, you flip it over, and each pad is actually connected by 2 screws only. So I started off by just unscrewing stuff randomly, which I didn't need to do. So if you look at it here, so each pad has got one in the opposite corners. So there's one screw there and one screw there for that first pad. Next one's one screw there, there, there. And so to get them off, you need to unscrew those, and then you need to disconnect that little plug there. That's where I've been using my multimeter pin, because that is a very, very thin connection. So once you've got them all removed there, you got these 4 little arms there, these little white arms that you need to bend back. So once you sort of pry them open, you can then sort of take the back off. There you can see the sensor for the pad, and then the thick rubber pad there. Alright, so pretty much the modification, all you need to do is you eliminate the bit of air between the bottom of the pad and the top of the sensor by sticking a bit of tape to it. Now I read online, here goes my dog again, I read online that people have been using electrician's tape, where they put it 4 pieces thick. So you can recommend that, or what I've been doing is using some gaffer tape. I've been doing it as 2 pieces thick, just to kind of save on cutting, and I found that the gaffer tape sticks better. So you pretty much just chuck that in there like so. Also, while you've got your pads out, you can give them a quick wash, get that grime off. But yeah, you pretty much just stick it like that. Then you put it back into your, doing this one-handed is tricky. That you put it back into the little metal casing, put that back on, fold the little metal tabs over, and then stick it back in. Plug the connection in, screw the screws in, and that's it. It's a crazy amount of work. I've been working at this for about an hour so far, and I've been figuring it out as I go, so it should be a lot faster now. But yeah, I was hoping that it was going to be like just one sheet that you unscrew and then just stick them all down and put them back in, but no, they are individual pads, and it does take a while, so definitely allow yourself a good couple of hours to do this if you have not done it before. It's a little fiddly and tricky. I'll post later to see how it goes. Like, I really hope that this works properly, because I cannot be asked doing this again. It is many hours later. I've had to reopen this guy up a couple of times and sort of fiddle around with all of the pads to try and get them all to work properly. As you can sort of see, here you can kind of make it out thanks to that amazing glare. Anyway, they're working pretty much. Some work better than others. I'm not quite sure what the difference is between some working well and some working less well. I had to keep on replacing them and opening them up and putting different amounts of tape in there. Some I found worked with the 2 pieces of gaffer tape. Some seemed to need 3. The best ones seemed to have the tape cut into a nice little square to fit on the sensor pad. If there was too much tape in there, they didn't seem to work as well, so that's something to take into consideration when you do it yourself. But yeah, it has taken most of the day to do, and it has taken a lot of fiddling around and stuff, so definitely do not start this project unless you've got a good afternoon free to do so. But yeah, on the whole, yeah, they're working better. None working less good. That's great English there. Yeah, they're all working better, so I recommend doing it. It's definitely going to help.